What is up, everybody? Mike here. So I am very excited today because it is time for another truck update video, and today we're going to be tackling one of the most, if not probably the most popular thing on the channel that everybody was asking about, and that is an exhaust. So I will show you guys the box up here. So we are going to do a 5-inch Mbrp exhaust, and this is a straight pipe system, you know, effectively a straight pipe all the way from the turbo back. So we're going to get rid of the cat, get rid of the muffler, and you know, it's huge. It's a 5-inch pipe and it's long to fit the truck, so it's in a massive box here. And this is the tip. This is a 7-inch tip here. I can't get out of the box with one hand, but it's gonna look nasty, and you're gonna see it on the truck anyway. So what I'm gonna do is do a really good sound profile of what the truck sounds like now, because I want to do a really good comparison of what this truck sounds like stock compared to what it will sound like after that's installed, because I haven't really seen a lot of videos on YouTube of what it sounds like installed, but not a direct comparison between the two. So I want to get a really good sound profile of the truck now and then afterwards. So try to give everybody a really good idea in case you want to buy this system or something, that you know what it sounded like before and directly compared to what it sounds like after. And I am thinking that it's going to sound absolutely incredible from some of the videos that I have seen on it, and I can't wait to get it installed. So anyway, let's go ahead and get that sound profile video, and then we will head over to the shop and get her installed. All right, so this is what it sounds like inside the cab, and you can hear, you know, a faint turbo whistle and everything. It sounds okay. You can definitely hear it, but it's not very loud. Definitely not loud enough for my taste. So when you're inside the cab, unless you know you're really into it and you're into boost, you don't hear much of the turbo, and it's just really not loud at all. So I'm here in the shop with my buddy Anthony. The truck is going up on the lift right now. And, you know, I give a huge thanks to him, because having this up on a lift is gonna make this a million times easier, to say the least, rather than trying to crawl up underneath the truck. This is gonna be a hell of a lot easier. And that's Anthony over there. Not only is he a master mechanic, but he's also an all-around great guy who builds rally cars in his spare time. And he just built from the ground up a Subaru that sees more dirt than my pickup truck, so. It's an awesome guy. But anyway, I will put the shop information in the description, because I know I have a lot of local viewers, and if you need anything from, you know, a basic car to a 560 SL to a diesel truck, they can help you out. And Anthony's an awesome guy. He knows exactly what he's doing, and, you know, like I said, this isn't just his job. He does this kind of stuff as a hobby. Really knows his stuff. So anyway, let's go ahead and get this exhaust build started. So like we said earlier, this is a downpipe back system, which, as you can see, that clamp right there, I'll try to point to it with the light, just from there all the way back. So relatively easy, you know. And it's easy to say this, but Anthony knows exactly what he's doing. I don't. But at least you don't have to get up underneath there and open up the hood or anything. It's just from there back. So should be a relatively easy install. And let's go see what the box looks like. They have this thing buttoned up. There you go. That's a big fucking box. Those are some those are some big boys. Right. So that's what it looks like in the box. Looks absolutely huge on there. It might look a little smaller once it's on the truck, but honestly, I doubt it. So what you can see first is that he unbolted this rear section. This is right after the catalytic converter, right behind the cross member here with the torsion bars, just for kind of where it's at on the truck. And that was relatively easy. Got the power tools here. And this is why Anthony's a great guy, because not only does he know what he's doing, but he also has the right tools, which is a massive help when you're attempting a project. Step number 2 he's tackling right now is the clamp up there for the downpipe, and it's being a little bit of a bitch right now. He's got a socket on it, as you can see. And what size of a socket is that? Just a 11 millimeter. 11 millimeter socket. So there you go. So all that was for that clamp right there. And as you can see, was not the easiest thing in the world to do, that is for sure. But now it's finally off. All right, so we just took off the exhaust from this piece back that we unbolted earlier. And what you gotta do is get it out of this hanger up here, and then it has one in the rear as well that you can see back there. And it helps to have this special tool that is still on the hanger there, you can see. So once you get it out of those 3 hangers, what you have to do is feed it over the axle like he's now doing the reverse way with the aftermarket pipe, and then it comes right out. And it was pretty heavy, you can see here, to say the least. It was pretty heavy, so it helps to have 2 hands. Unfortunately, that's why I didn't film it, because we were lifting it out, but I will set up the tripod the next time so you can definitely see the work actually being done here. So the downpipe part is off, this rear section is off. Now the next puzzle is figuring out how to get this section with the catalytic converter out, because with the cat being as big as it is, you can't take it out this way because there's not nearly enough room. And it doesn't appear as though there's enough room to go forward with it either. So it looks like one option may actually be dropping the cross member, but we'll see if it comes to that or not. So now back to being a complete pain in the ass. The clamp that he had to work so hard to get off has to go back on with the new section here. But the Mbrp is nice because it does come in sections, so shouldn't be too hard. Now, I said that the last time and it turned out to be a little bit more difficult, but front section is going in the downpipe here, and then we'll connect the rear piece to this. So it's only from here to up there where it connects to the downpipe. So pretty short section. Pro tip from Anthony as he refuels on Monster here: don't tighten the bolts all the way, don't make them super tight until you have the whole system in, which is a really good tip that I totally forgot. So when you're installing this, definitely don't tighten everything up one section at a time. Just wait until it's all set together in the way you want it organized on the truck before you tighten everything up and make it, you know, super permanent. Okay, so one really important thing that I want to mention here is that we were trying to test fit this whole system and get it together, and it was just like way too long. So made these little marks here where we're gonna have to cut, and then we checked the directions, and that's why you probably read the directions first, but whatever, most people don't. And you will have to cut off a significant section of this pipe if you have an extended cab truck. So in other words, if you have the shorter truck, this is the shortest Duramax you can get, is with just the 6.5 foot bed with the extended cab. Now, if you have a crew cab, you won't have to do this cutting, but if you have an extended cab like me, you are gonna have to do some cutting of this pipe, so I definitely wanted to mention that. So the front end is all buttoned up, got the hanger and everything secured, and now it's time to go ahead and put this cross member back in. Pretty much got it all buttoned up now, so you got a number of clamps that you got to install, and just kind of as you fit the pieces together. And again, just keep them loose until you're ready to tighten them all up at once. So got this section in, connects to here. We did have to cut this section here. I want to mention we had to cut about 6 inches off of this pipe in order for it to fit this specific truck and cab bed configuration. But anyway, clamp this up, and then this is your hanger clamp over here, and goes over the rear axle, and another hanger right here, and then out the back of the truck. So it's pretty much all ready to go. And let me adjust the camera, and we'll get it down here off the lift in a second. One last thing we were gonna do is put on the tip. So I have an Mbrp black tip. This is a 7-inch tip, so it's gonna look awfully good coming out of this truck, but this pipe is way too long. So as you can see, if the tip was on, it would literally be sticking out like a foot past the truck. So we're gonna cut it right there at the extension, or not the extension, sorry, the electrical tape where that's marked off, put the tip on, and then she'll be all finished up. What is up, everybody? Mike here. So it's a couple days after the install and I wanted to wait and drive around for a little bit just to see, you know, let the metals expand a little bit to see if a check engine light or anything came on and see how everything was doing, and it has been doing absolutely fantastic. So no check engine lights or anything to speak of. Truck is running absolutely fantastic, and you know, I've installed exhausts before on cars and stuff, and I've never really noticed a difference as far as performance goes. This, I have to say, you know, maybe it's just my mind playing tricks on me, whatever, but the truck feels a lot more powerful, like a noticeable amount. And of course, this is just an exhaust, not tuned or anything yet, which is definitely going to happen at some point, but feels a lot more powerful. Also, I have to say that at low speeds, like in a parking lot, it feels much more smooth. Like it was a little bit, I guess you would call it like a little bit jerky before at really low speeds. Now it's just a lot smoother overall. So anyway, this is the finished product and what it looks like. I think it looks great. Like I said, we cut that pipe to fit it, and it's really the perfect fitment. I like it exactly like this, just tucked a little bit underneath the rear fender, but not much, you know, just to be subtle. I don't like when you see a giant, you know, tip sticking out or something like that. So this is really, really good. I like it. I love the black, of course. It kind of hides it a little bit better, and I might actually paint the entire pipe black at some point, but that's kind of a big project. Might do it when the truck gets undercoated or whatever, but that's what it looks like. It looks really good, and it sounds amazing when you're driving it. The GoPro, of course, doesn't do it justice like most sounds when you're trying to record on camera, but it really is a big difference. Now, the thing I will say is that it's not loud really at all, believe it or not. Like, it's really not loud. It's more of like a whooshing kind of fan noise almost at idle, but it's not like crazy loud. Like if you straight piped, if you went from a regular, you know, gas engine to a straight pipe like that, it would be bigger than the difference in this as far as straight volume goes. What it really does is not so much that it's louder, which it is. I mean, it is a lot louder, but it doesn't make it crazy loud. It just makes it sound a lot better, I should say. So it's a really, really good system. I think it's fantastic. And to answer some questions that I know people are going to get. So basically, I didn't order this online. I ordered it at my local Pep Boys because Anthony, the mechanic who you saw in the video installing this, mentioned that Keith down at the speed shop at Pep Boys here on Jonestown Road in Harrisburg, PA, wanted to give him a little shout out because they can actually get a much lower price than anything I found online, which is awesome. So the whole system, 400 bucks, not bad. The tip itself was about $100, so the whole thing was 500 bucks. But the tip was expensive. You don't have to get that. So, you know, if you find the right installer or whatever, you can get this for, I'm sorry, I've been pointing you in the sun rather. It should have the sun back there. But anyway, so yeah, the whole thing about 500 bucks. Took about 2 hours all said and done to install. And one of the things I want to say is, you know, I was nervous about tackling this myself, and I'm really glad that I didn't, just because having the truck up on a lift made it a lot easier. You know, crawling up underneath the truck would have been a bit of a chore, no doubt about it, and having the right tools was a huge help. Now, the question is, can you do this yourself? Yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's just clamps and test fitting pipes. It's not, you know, it's not the toughest thing in the world. But you know, having the right tools makes a big difference, saves you a ton of time, and like having a sawzall to cut the pipes if you have to, like I did. So, you know, a lot of things there. Would I recommend someone to try to do this themselves? If you have a weekend, or, you know, well, you wouldn't need a weekend. If you have like a whole day with a friend, because it really helps, because a lot of these pipes and stuff, it's really tough to maneuver them by yourself and everything. So I would definitely recommend having a friend there. I guess you could do it with like jack stands and stuff by yourself if you really wanted to, but it really helps to have an extra pair of hands there. So could you do it yourself? I think you could. Would I recommend it? No, depending on your skill level too, but it would be harder to do it by yourself. It's a lot easier if you have all the right power tools and if you have a shot to do it in. It was just made it a lot easier, but it wasn't a tough, super hard install. You definitely can do it. It's just a matter of kind of the logistics of it. So anyway, I'm loving the system so far. Like I said, it's awesome. It looks awesome. Sounds great. I couldn't be more happy with this. So now that we got the exhaust installed, just show one other little modification here. The only thing that has changed on the truck since last time I made a video was I did add a little recovery hook here in the back. You know, that's just a nice little addition there, and that's pretty much it. So not a big thing, that's for sure. So exhaust is in. Next stuff I want to tackle is either engine stuff or lift and tires. I still haven't made a final decision on lift and tires yet, but I'm pretty sure that I got it buttoned down. I'm pretty sure I know what I want. So anyway, that is the exhaust install. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that the before and after sound comparison was helpful. I'm also going to add it in here at the end of the video just so you can see it right next to each other, side by side, right back to back, so you can really get a good you know, you can really hear what it sounds like before and after. So anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching. Always appreciated. If you're stopping in for the first time, please subscribe and take care. Have a great day. Okay, so here's what she sounds like after the install. Give it a little low speed stuff here. I don't know how well the camera's gonna pick it up, but it has this awesome little low grumble to it when you're not really on it, like below 2,000 RPMs. It sounds awesome. You still get the V8 kind of burbling noise. I love it. I absolutely love that. And then as soon as you hit about 2,000, you start to hear the higher pitch of the turbo whistle. Then it really comes on later on as you get a little bit higher in the RPM range. But down low, it sounds really good. It has a great, really deep bass rumble to it, and try to get some. So hopefully you got some of that, although the GoPro doesn't have the best mic for kind of the down low noises, but here we go. We got a straightaway, let it wind it out a little bit.